All right. And I do think we are good to go. All right. Well, howdy. If y'all don't know me, I'm Nathan. Though I've been told that my official title is the Chill Mechanic. Well, apparently, y'all have done something kind of remarkable. You've dedicated yourselves quite a bit. Seems there's about 2,280 of you right now. And, well, that's cause for celebration, isn't it? So, I'm here to answer your questions. And to give you a very formal thank you from myself and everyone else for being so kind, so supportive, and so wonderful. So, let's go on and get into the questions. Let's see here. Question numero uno from Jeb, who asks, would you ever hardware someone? Well, depends on the reasoning, but generally speaking, let's say no. Keep folks' heart rates down. See, next question from Sophie. Asks, how are you doing? I'm alright. The cold weather means I'm doing a lot of the repairs at home. We usually don't get to around the rest of the year. Keeping everything in working order, making sure everything's just right. But hey, I like the busyness. So thank you, Jed. Thank you, Sophie, for your questions. Ooh, next we got a couple of questions from Flood, who asks, number 1, what's your favorite meal? Chicken and dumplings, probably. Peak comfort food right there. Question 2, do you ever work out, and how often if you do? Traditionally, not really. I have a set of weights I lift sometimes if I'm real bored, but typically, I work on a farm, work as a mechanic, work on jobs, work saving the town. Hell, it's a miracle I ain't emaciated. Question number 3, favorite footwear? Guess. No, I won't make you. I prefer boots. There's these twins in town that have been making shoes since they were babies. Morgan and Riley. I think just about everyone gets their shoes from them, myself included. Never felt so comfortable in my life. Question 4. How do you become a mechanic? Oh boy. Well, it's kind of a long story, but the basics of it is I was a shithead teenager. Needed something to do aside from help my family out tending fields and kissing animals on the forehead, so I got an apprenticeship over at Jonathan Saul's. Basic stuff at first, nothing fancy, but became something more as time went on. Special. It felt right. It felt good. So I've stuck with it. Let's see, and the last question from Flood is, what's a typical weekend look like for you? Well, so my schedule ain't set in stone, so it could involve me hanging out with my folks, or could be me running down to the shop to fix something or other, but assuming it ain't the latter, then usually I spend weekends with my family, hanging out, talking to them, catching up, eating, cooking together. So thank you, Flood, for your questions. I appreciate it. Next is Kieran and Kate, who ask, what would your perfect day look like? Oh, quiet. That's all I know, quiet. Thank you for your interest, though, both of you. All right, let's see. Next questions are from Foyle, who asks, what shows and or movies are y'all's favorites? Oh, shit, that's a tough one. Maybe It's a Wonderful Life. It's a good one. Or Princess Bride. It's also a good one. Yeah, I'll say one of those. And oh shit. The question is, what is your favorite species of animal? I don't know. Probably I don't know. Pigeons are funny. Maybe crows. Yeah, probably crows. I see more of them. And Foyle and Trace both asked this question. What is your favorite car model? Good question. I'd say 1969 Dodge Charger, which I suspect most of you folks ain't old enough to know why. But for those of you who do, well, howdy to you too, old timer. Oh, but for those of you who don't, my dad used to make me watch the Dukes of Hazzard when I was growing up. Said it was good for the soul and whatnot. It was one of our ways of bonding. And while I can't say I remember much of what the Duke boys got up to, that was a pretty car. So, that is what I would say. Thank you both for your questions. I believe Trace might get some more of your questions in a few. But for now, Aviator asks, how did you fix the problem that I had? And what I think you're referring to is that beauty you took over to my shop a few weeks back. And, well, shit, it wasn't anything too important. Your tire pressure was just a little bit low, ain't nothing to write home about. Got them all filled up, made sure the stability control system was in order, and the light just turned off like that. If it comes back on, though, you take it back in and we'll give it another look through. But I'm pretty sure that's all it was. Let's see. Aviator, your next question is, would you consider giving the giant listener a throat massage or a stomach massage if they were sick? And would you consider going through their intestinal tract? Well, I can't lie. I've always been a bit daunted by giants. Even large Faye gave me the heebie-jeebies, but, you know, what the hell, if you were sick, I'd give you the best damn massage my arms can offer. And, you know, why not? Maybe I can use some faith, trust, and pixie dust to get through your gut and fix whatever's going on inside you. Thank you for your questions, Aviator. This is a lot of talking. Jesus. All right. Let's see. Next question is from Trace. I knew I'd see you again. Trace asks, what cute nicknames do you have for tiny friends? Well, geez, what ain't a cute nickname for a tiny friend? Shortcake, pumpkin, sweetheart, little one. Maybe a runt if they're misbehaving. Or, of course, for special short stacks, I might give them their own personal pet name. Thank you for your question, Trace. Let's see next. Anonymous asks, we know you're just a mechanic, but do you have special skills like working on electronics or machinery or plumbing? Or is it just cars? It's a damn good question. Well, I won't say I'm trained, but I have picked up a few things. My parents, well, they ain't old, but they don't have that same ability to, be superheroes. They can't do every job there is around our house, and well, none of us like having to call someone out for a basic problem we can fix with a little elbow grease. So I've picked up a few things from them, basic stuff, mostly troubleshooting, and nothing like wiring a house or building anything extravagant. But yeah, I've got some work switching out the pipes that aren't buried underground, handling old worn down light switches, all that stuff. Anon's next question is, what does your perfect date look like? Geez, I don't know. Most of my dates are a bit more spur of the moment. Meeting at the bar by chance, or needing some relaxation after a long day. Sometimes Caleb sees there's a concert or a show or something nearby, and he'll drag me along for it, but I don't tend to plan dates that way. But thank you for your questions, Anon. I appreciate them. Let's see. Next is Star, who says, hi, Nathan. Texting here. Got a few questions, if that's okay. Well, if you insist. Question number 1. Are you into horses at all? Any specific breed? I know you're a mechanic, but that country accent makes me think that you've done a bit of ranch work in your time. Very astute observation, my southern friend. Yeah, my family has a small farm I help out on when I can. It ain't anything big, so we don't usually keep horses, but I've gotten some experience with them from friends and neighbors. Well, mostly what we have around here is thoroughbreds, which are just absolutely gorgeous. They look like they're made of, the pure chocolate silk, in my personal opinion. They're just so damn graceful to watch. Of course, I say that, but my granddaddy owned a Palomino, Goldie, who was just gentle and stunning. Just a stunning ranch horse there. Of course, that was a long time ago, and Goldie was old even when I was little. Too little and too sickly to really ride anything myself, but damn did I consider myself lucky just getting to watch. Let's see. Your second question was, have you ever had a customer that's deeply pissed you off? I'm sure a mechanic's job is stressful. Oh boy. That's for sure. Well, the thing is, I've got a tough skin. I've been through enough that I've needed one. And, if a customer's irritating enough, I don't mind pulling them aside and having a little chat with them. And let them come back in a day or two with a new attitude. And I admit, I can be abrasive. You start yelling at me, I can only take so much before I start yelling back. I know what I'm doing and you don't. Hypothetically. The proverbial you. That's why you are here at this shop and not working on your vehicle yourself. But it really gets me when people bring that attitude, all that self-importance and that ego, and throw it at someone who ain't even bothering them. Those are the people I'm glad if they ain't repeat customers, I would say to say. I wish everyone would be a repeat, but some people, it's best they aren't. But that's all of Star's questions. Thank you very much. From one southerner to another. Let's see. Next is, oh boy, I've heard things about you. Itty. I was wondering when I get to you. So Itty asks, how often do you trap people in your boots for being annoying? Is it something you do often? Because I might just have to show up and start causing trouble. For no particular reason, of course. Hell, how many people think I do this? I swear I might or not become a tourist attraction. To answer your question, though, I don't do it too often. Just often enough. They usually have to do something bad enough to warrant a timeout. Something that maybe they don't need to spend a night in a cell for, but they sure wouldn't like to spend a night in the bottom of a warm, steamy, musky boot for. But shit, if you want to find yourself pressed between the sturdy sole of a boot and a black sweat-soaked sock, all you gotta do is ask your little charmer. And Itty's second question is, bananas. How do we feel? Why are they sticking around? What do you mean for your family? Oh dear. That is a damn good question. Never in my years did I think I get asked something so deep, so thought-provoking. Ooh. Oh boy. Well, my mom loves making banana bread, so I'd say they're a net positive. My dad doesn't mind them, but he's one of those folks, he heard somewhere in some book, or his friend told him, or someone said it on his old TV, that they're bad for you and they make you fat. So he stays away from them. He's on his cheat day and complains the whole time. Oh, hell. I don't mind them, though. Who knows why they're here, but I'm grateful. Goodness. Thank you for your questions, Itty. Whew. Hoo-wee. Alright, next question's from Kieran, who asks, 2 questions for you. Number 1, what happened after the giving your coworker a foot massage episode, when the angry customer eventually turned back from being a sucker? Well, things just got a little heated in the moment, so you come in thinking, a repair will cost a certain amount, take a certain amount of time, all that. And folks tend to get a bit uptight when things don't go their way, especially when they need their vehicle for something or other. So, after the particular client took some time, calmed down, got a little bit of humility, we wound up getting things worked out. No hard feelings or anything like that. Just another day. And the second question is, have you ever used tiny people to help with the smaller parts of your car? Could be handy. I don't think I ever thought about that before. I mean, certainly do us a lot of good, saving time on dismantling things if we can just slip someone through a few spaces and let them work out what's wrong. We do already sometimes have people, either small folks or people get shrunken down to deal with tiny cars, so might as well. Something to look into. Thank you for your questions, Kieran. I do appreciate them. Alright, Next is Mobius, who asks, I don't recognize this character. I don't know, have you seen a tiny person before? See, this gives me hope and anonymity. I can appreciate that. Here I was worried I was a celebrity. But to answer your question, it's a rare sight in my town, but I have seen a few tiny folks before. Naturally tiny ones, of course. It's becoming more common, I think. The town's adjusting to be more welcoming to them. And Mobius's next question is, have you ever had to eat somebody who hated getting eaten? Officially, no, not at all. Unofficially, well, you could say there have been a few times I've accidentally swallowed someone who accidentally wound up shrunken in my mouth. Now, I've done it for plenty of assholes. Folks who, well, I don't want to sound too cruel, but folks who wouldn't attract much attention if they disappeared for a day or two. Folks who, nobody would really mind if they were gone for a little bit. Who, cause more trouble than they need to. But for folks I care about, well, I wouldn't say I haven't, but it is a different experience. Kind of painful for me. Like my stomach doesn't want them in there any more than they want to be in there. But, when that's the case, it's for a good cause. Safety, warmth, getting them to relax. I don't want to get too off topic, but this is related. If you haven't heard of what a predscape is, it's sort of, well, best I understand it, it's a pocket dimension that exists in your head. Your mind has beliefs. Belief is power. Power is magic, and magic creates pocket dimensions. And anyways, that pocket dimension can, for folks who take the time to manifest and cultivate it, hold folks inside of it. Folks that you eat. Folks whose consciousnesses are a part of you. Hence the term predscape. A landscape for preds. Well, this to say, mine is a charming little bar area. Got pool, food, TV, all my favorite old shows. And sometimes, if a friend of mine ain't taking care of themselves, I'll just swallow them down and send them there. My little mental manifestation of me forces them to take care of themselves and forces them to take some time while I handle everything on the outside. And the door to the bar, the exit of my mental paradise, stays closed for anyone who ain't fit to re-enter society. So, I've kind of talked around a little bit, but if a friend of mine doesn't want to be eaten by me, but needs it, yeah, I'll pack him away for a little while. Keep him safe inside of me. So I hope that answers your questions. Thank you very much for Mobius. Let's see. Next on the docket we got Sapphire, who asks, how do you feel about trans guys? Well, not every day I see one, given how few folks stop by for more than gas, but I'm a fan. Glad you're living your truth, being who you are. Next question is, What is your connection to the Fae? And how do you have such a consistent supply of fairy dust? We're getting personal, aren't we? Well, ever since I was a little boy, I had a connection to nature. I lived out in the boonies, so of course I did. And of course, our good neighbors have a connection to it too. And I wound up wandering where I shouldn't, but I was kind and polite. Frankly, I think at the time they considered me to be a good source of amusement. I'd find them and tell them stories or jokes or whatever, and without a word about it, they'd listen in and keep an eye on me when I wasn't looking. Of course, I figured it out eventually. One too many happy coincidences. But I think by now most of them accepted me as something of a friend, whatever that looks like for Faye. And as for why I have such a good supply of pixie dust, well, I don't know where you got that idea from. I've never heard of someone just keeping fistfuls of magic in their pockets. But if I did have a stash of it, well, I reckon I wouldn't know honestly how I keep it topped off. I think hypothetically, it just would never seem to run out when I need it. And Sapphire's final question is, I get the feeling you may have a secret crush on Hugh. Am I wrong or... Now, if I recall correctly, Hugh already has a special someone in his life. And I am seeing someone myself, sort of. It's a long story, but I do have someone, sort of. The point being, he was a nice man, but I'm glad we're on speaking terms again. But I wouldn't say I have a crush on him. Not out loud, anyways. Thank you for your question, Sapphire. Okay. Moving swiftly right along, we got Eel, who asks, who's your Fey Dust supplier? And how do they feel about you using it to shrink and teach folks a lesson? Who, boy, you're asking me to give you the name of a Fey? I'm pretty sure they'd kill me for that. Oh, I'm kidding. Well, I can't tell you who it is, but if you need it for something or someone, I can give you a little bit. Speaking of, I don't think they mind. Fae get a bad rapport amongst humans and mortal folks, being these evil, hateful creatures. But what a lot of folks take as malice is really just what a magic, immortal being would consider a harmless little prank. I've even had some little jokes played on me before, and I can't say it's an enjoyable time, but I know they don't mean nothing by it. So, I think they can appreciate it when I carry on their mannerisms. I'm not torturing anybody. Just, eating them or putting them in a stinky shoe for a few days. Or more, if I forget. But, putting someone in my boots for a few weeks or months or more. That's just a harmless little prank, according to a small-town vigilante. I think that a small-town fae would have respected. Let's see. Eel's second question is, what is your size preference? Do you like being big or small when it comes to hanging out, and why? Well, I mean, I can't lie. Most of the time, if someone's tiny around me, well, it's because they did something wrong. Someone had to, as you say, teach them a lesson. So, typically, I'd say I'd prefer to be the same size as my friends. But if it's a request of a friend, or if someone's just naturally microscopic, I wouldn't mind that at all. So I'd say it's a welcome sight around these parts. So thank you for your questions, Eel. I do appreciate them. Seems our last question of the day is from Rio, who asks, how did you meet your friend or partner? Oh, hell. I mean, everyone I know was either born here or moved here. But let's see. I met Hugh back when we were both kids. I was sickly and he was lonely, and together we made a decent pair. Then there's Caleb, whose parents run the store in town. Of course, my coworkers are my coworkers. No explanation needed there, really. And everyone else, either I met them through my parents, or I met them from school, or I just met them just around the town. So, that to say, everyone I know because everyone is here. I hope that answered your question. And I appreciate you asking it, Rio. So, that would be the end of the questions. That was a good long little talk. Goodness me. Well, I do appreciate you all asking me these questions. Even if I do think I need to get a nice long drink and a rest from my throat for a while. But that said, thank you again for your dedication, your kindness, your interaction. It really is appreciated. Well, I hope you all know just how important you all are. Not just to me, but to the world. You really do make a difference. Even if you can't tell. Even if you're not sure. Just take a little bit. You slow down. You think. Think about what you like about yourself. You think about what you like about the way you live and how you treat others. You think about who you want to become too. Don't get so busy you become stagnant. We always got to be changing. All right? So I will probably see you 2026. And hopefully many years after that. Before I go, come here. Nice hug for you. How's that? And I'll let you pick where I give this to you. There you go. I'll see you all later. You take care.